Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the WildChat. We're going through the season, some wins, some losses. Hopefully another win this weekend, but we'll see. But we have a really exciting crossover episode for you. We're here with Jordan, one of the biggest Maryland fans we know, the epitome of Big Banter at Big Banter Sports. And we're super excited to have Jordan on today and talk some football.
Let me stop you there. How many Maryland fans do you know?
A decent amount.
Actually, a decent amount.
There's too many that go to Northwestern. Like they're all excited they're all excited for this game. They're all like rooting for Maryland. It's like ridiculous. It's crazy.
You know what they say, College Park in Chicago, same place.
I guess maybe you can start. Just tell us where we can find your guys' podcast, I guess, before we get into it.
Yeah, so as we talked about earlier in the pre-show, we've been labeled as the Turtle Dicks of the Big Banter Podcast Network. We are lovable people, and you're going to love us when you listen to us. If you like Ravens, Orioles, or Maryland, we're your podcast. And I'll keep it simple for you. If you just want a good laugh, come listen to our podcast. It's not all about Maryland sports. We have a good time. We talk. It's just a great listen. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Turtleheads Talk on X, Facebook and Instagram. Give us a follow, like, and subscribe. And I'm glad to be on here with WildChat.
Awesome.
And don't mind me, I am driving, but I'm hands-free, and I'll be looking at the road. I'll try to make eye contact every now and then.
That works with us, as long as you're staying safe.
That's right.
We can get straight into it, asking you a couple questions. I mean, Adam and I, big Miami sports fans. Obviously,
couldn't tell.
We have the better Tagovailoa brother. We got to ask you guys about your Tagovailoa. What have you seen from him? How does he impact the offense? What do you kind of expect from this Maryland offense going forward and into this game against Northwestern?
You ask how he impacts it. He is our offense. If he's going, we're going. If he's not going, we're not going. It's proof against Illinois. We're still not over that letdown loss. We had a bye week last week. Some people are saying this week's a bye week. I don't know. I'm just saying it's what some people are saying. But it is a good opportunity for Maryland to bounce back. He has gone away from Taulia. He is now baby TT or baby Tua because of his poor performance. I can't fault him in the Ohio State game. I kind of fault the coaching on that in the game plan. But the Illinois game, and people actually get on me. I keep saying Illinois. It's Illinois. I apologize to all my Illinois fans out there. But that game was an extreme letdown, and I just hope we bounce back. I know Northwestern is not the easiest place to play. You average around 30 fans a game. Is that right?
It's like
31.
I think it's more like
well, but here's the thing. It's an 11 a.m. game, the Saturday Apollo weekend. There's nobody going to be there this weekend.
Oh, geez. I will say, though, Northwestern has had the game of the year in the Big Ten so far. The Minnesota game, I watched y'all's podcast afterwards. How hyped were you all for that comeback?
That was awesome. We were one of like 15 people on the field that stormed afterwards. That was unbelievable experience.
I can tell you all the Northwestern like sports media people in the press box. Normally we're told you got to keep things civil up there, right? No cheering. We were all going crazy, like something we'd never seen before. So it was a good one. It was a fun time. And I don't know if this team necessarily has those kind of vibes right now after the kind of disappointing loss to Nebraska. But I guess we're just kind of all hoping that there's a little bit more magic left in the tank.
So what is your all's goal for the season? I mean, do you think bowl games realistic?
It depends which one of us you're talking to. If
Yeah.
you're talking to Dylan, like he's like we're undefeated the rest of the way, right?
I mean,
I like it.
I can see it.
I can't.
I mean, I will say this game is big for us because we've had two chances in a row to be bowl eligible. And I know is bowl eligible for Northwestern. That's like a big deal, right? Bowl eligible. Yeah. And like Maryland, I will give Coach Locks his credit. He's starting to take the narrative of bowl eligible being a good season. Like that's starting to be a given, which is a good thing. It's just you heard us all season. We're talking about like this is the year we upset one of the big three, and we will be bowl eligible hopefully after we beat Northwestern. And I just hope that Illinois, I keep referring back to it, but I just really hope we don't have a hangover. Luckily, I'm kind of glad we had the bye week so we could refocus. But I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a good old-fashioned Big Ten grudge match. I mean, do you all agree? Low scoring?
fully.
Yeah.
What's the weather supposed to be like Saturday?
I think it's supposed to be a little
Like-
colder and rainy a little
Yeah,
Is it?
colder,
Oh.
like colder and colder, I think, in the 50s, well, 40s.
Now,
maybe.
Now, forgive me. I'm not big on the Northwestern. I don't know what's going on out there. How is your running game?
bit. So that's funny that you think we have one.
Yes.
That's a really good point. Also, it's funny if you think that we can stop one, because we run game is just either side of the football. It's non-existent.
But wait till you hear about our passing game. Our quarterback's hurt, so we don't have one either. Oh, did we lose him?
I'm telling you, I think. Oh, are you there? Sorry, did I lose you?
We got you.
They are Purdue fans are going to trash me so hard for this podcast. I think y'all have teamed up with them to set me up for failure here. But they, I will say, a wet game I think will benefit us, especially if you're saying you can't stop the run game. Maybe that will force Coach Locks to use our three-headed monster, McDonald, Hemby, and Littleton, and hopefully maybe we just ground and pound the whole game and just run all over you all. That's my goal. That's my hope.
I mean, that's almost kind of what happened last year in the game between Maryland and Northwestern. I mean, it was pretty close for the first, I want to say like 3 quarters, and then Roman Hemby had that massive like 75-yard run at the end and kind of just sealed the deal. So I'm already scared of Maryland's run game in that regard. I think that game from last year was probably a little bit more high scoring than this one is going to be. I just think that this game could be ugly, but I feel like we say that about every Northwestern game. I mean, if our WildChat listeners will know that every score prediction we have is weird. Every time we're talking about looking forward to a game, it's like, how can we cause chaos? Because I think chaos is the best way for us to win. And against Nebraska in that first half, we caused a lot of chaos. I mean, a couple of interceptions, just couldn't capitalize, couldn't get into the end zone. So I mean, for Northwestern, it's I mean, do they get Ben Bryant back? It's going to be really interesting. But I think Maryland definitely will have the upper hand just with how effective their run game has been. And I mean, we saw what it did to Northwestern last year too. So I think that's my biggest worry as a Northwestern fan.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you this: what's going on? Is it labeled an intern coach, or has he been given the full reins? What's going on there?
Oh yeah, we've had some discussions about this. Because I think I'm very much on the Braun train. I think he should be more than interim at this point. I think he's done enough. I've gotten a lot of flack for that. I think a lot of people don't agree with me. For now, he's still interim. That's the official heading, interim head coach. I think he's done enough. I think we've gotten wins in places we never thought we were going to. Originally I thought we were going to get 4 wins, but 1 win would have been a success. We would have been like, oh my God, we got 1 win. That's so awesome. And now we have 3. So that's kind of sick. So I think that's good enough. I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts.
I mean, I think no matter what he's done, he deserves a permanent position as at least a defensive coordinator. Whatever happens post this season, he has proven he knows how to coach a defense. I mean, against Nebraska, it was pretty dominant. He had a great first half against Penn State. It's been really good at certain times of the year. So I think he deserves to be the permanent defensive coordinator no matter what. It's hard to say what's going to happen just because, if there's a candidate out there who's maybe more experienced and maybe wants the job, it's hard to kind of turn that down if that's out there. But with what he's done so far, with what he's been given and what happened coming into the season, it's hard to really say that he doesn't deserve a spot as the permanent head coach.
I totally agree with these two. However, I'm going to make a completely different take, and I'm going to completely speculate here. And these are 2 things that I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, and something clicked in my brain, and I was like, okay, what happened if Northwestern was like, we love David Braun. We think David Braun's a great defensive coordinator. Let's make him the defensive coordinator, or at least maybe like an associate head coach or something like that. And then bring in Brian Hartline as the head coach. And I would just love that. Because as a big Dolphins fan, obviously Brian Hartline was like my guy growing up. I mean, he was Dolphins legend in the early to mid 2010s. Had that massive catch against Arizona for a touchdown and sent it to overtime. I can talk about Brian Hartline all day. But Brian Hartline at some point is going to get a head coaching job in college football. I think he's going to step away from Ohio State at some point. And I think a place like Northwestern could be a really interesting spot for him. I don't think it would ever happen. I would just love it as a Northwestern fan and a Dolphins fan. So in my wildest dreams, that's kind of what I would hope to happen. But I think David Braun's legitimately he's 1 more win away from pretty much solidifying a head coaching job for next year. I mean, he's done an excellent job with this program. and the team really believes in him.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Since basketball season's around the corner and everybody knows the name Boo Buie,
Great, love this.
who is your Boo Buie of your football team?
It's a great question.
What a question.
Wow.
That's a great one.
I'm gonna go with. See, I feel like the normal approach here, especially in the spirit of Halloween coming up too. I love the Boo Buie reference. I think Bryce Gallagher is like the guy that most people are going to want to say, but I'm actually going to go with Devin Turner here. The safety, he's been all awesome this year. Really kind of came on at the beginning of the year, had an interception against Nebraska, has really turned on his game, making an impact in stopping the run, just a lock back there defensively. I think he's the guy that really gets things done defensively and kind of is one of those other leaders next to Gallagher and Xander Mueller that really is productive for this Northwestern defense. So I think that's our Boo Buie.
I feel like that's a hard question.
Nice.
I don't know if there's necessarily a dude though who stands out that much among everyone else. I think we have better players than some other players. However, there's not one guy who's like, he's the go-to, he's that guy. I think if we're talking Boo Buie, I mean, Boo Buie, mostly known for his offense. You kind of have to choose someone on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to go with Bryce Kirtz.
Damn, that was mine.
That's like, he was someone who coming into this year, I guess he was technically our leading returner, but it was like 400 yards last year. I don't even know if it knows that many. He is real. It was 200. Sorry. Yeah. He's really turned it on. He's gotten open. He's had a couple long catches for this year. One of our wide receivers who's always seeming to get open. Some pretty good hands as well. I'd say, but I just don't know if we have one true guy who sticks out. I don't know if Ashleigh has another person besides
I
Kirtz.
disagree. Kirtz is going to be my guy. I just think we've seen a lot more from him than we have, I'm thinking about, I don't know if you remember, and I'm sure you do, the Nebraska 66-yard catch that he had. That was absolutely fantastic. And then Brendan Sullivan kind of I was about to curse. Kind of messed up on that one. And I think he's done really well with what he has, which has been an unstable quarterback situation. I would love to put, me, I love Ben Bryant. I'd love to put his name out there, but specifically for that Minnesota game, I think that's shown the potential that he's had. And I think, Boo Buie's a player we've already seen a lot from. So I wouldn't say that's as much of who do we see potential from? That's more of a Brooks Barnheiser type of guy, which is also controversial among the three of us, I think. But
you're getting me so excited for basketball season.
I'm so pumped.
We've been excited since we lost to Illinois. I'm telling you, can you all gamble out in Chicago? Is gamble legal yet?
Considering none of us are 21, no.
Whoa! Whoa!
All
right. Well, with that said, any of the WildChat listeners, do yourself a favor and put a future on the Maryland Terrapins to win the Big Ten basketball regular season.
I just
book it.
I don't think Purdue loses that regular season, but I could see them making something happen in the Big Ten tourney.
Now, just let you know. We talked about this with Russ on the Boiler Express podcast. What has Purdue done to get better since they lost to Fairleigh Dickinson? Nothing. But Maryland has brought in a great freshman class. And by the way, people forget Maryland played Purdue at Mackey to the wire and rolled them at College Park last year. The good news is we only played them once this year at College Park. But I really think people are high on the horse on Purdue. And if anybody watched the Big Banter Sports basketball special we had a couple of days ago, I think it was yesterday, I put on there, Matt Painter is a born loser. What has he really done? A couple regular season wins, but he has nothing to show for it. I think he's got two Big Ten regular season titles, maybe three, I don't know, but one Big Ten tournament title. We've gone straight to basketball. I am so sorry, WildChat. I've hijacked our podcast.
No,
and we're talking about Purdue again. And we're talking about Purdue. So, Purdue, I know you're listening because you're always watching. Just to let you know, WildChat, they consider themselves, they're the gold standard of the Big Ten. I'm going to tell you who's not the gold standard of the Big Ten. It's Bacon Wire and Leo Podcast. You know why? And I'm going to tie us into you all. We made a gentleman's bet with them. If we won, they could send us some goods. If they beat us, we send them some goods. So, Sonny, we made the podcast. We made the bet. Here's the package. It goes out tomorrow. a little Baltimore's own Utz chips. Oh, I got more.
What
We
the-
have some Baltimore burger cookies.
What?
This is
I've never
wild.
seen any of
This
this.
is
You've never seen
awesome.
Utz chips, dude?
No, I've seen Old Bay.
I love Old Bay.
Okay,
Old Bay. Now, you three better not say you've seen this next one. Natty Bow beer.
No, never
Never
seen
seen
I
that.
can't say I've seen
Good
that.
job, guys. Good job. Water to your 21. But what I will say is, you've seen the goods now. This could be your goods too. Are we going to make a gentleman's bet here, guys?
I'm down.
I'm so down.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's do it.
What is
Now
it?
look, I have an advantage because I went to Chicago for the Big Ten tournament last year, and I worked as a reporter for another network. We won't say who they are because I'm not giving them free publicity. But anyway, I went to Superdog. You're not going to ship me a hot dog. I can tell you that right now. I want a deep dish pizza. Yes, I know you're college kids, but I want a deep dish pizza.
How do we ship that?
Yo, we can get a frozen one. We get a frozen one.
Oh yeah, we can ship.
Like
we can ship you a
Lou's-
frozen.
yeah.
ones.
Frozen deep.
I can't remember the place we went to, but what else were y'all known for? Help me out here.
Chicago, besides hot dogs or like the Portillo's cake or whatever, isn't that?
But how are we shipping a Portillo?
Yeah, I don't know.
chocolate cake?
Yeah. I don't know if you could. Wait, what's the place? Is it Al's Beef or something like that?
Oh yeah. I've heard it like the #1 Italian beef or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know you can't ship that, but just shout out to all my Chicago people. Go to, I think it's Al's Beef. That was by far the best sandwich I think I've ever ate in my life.
Get them a little bean magnet.
Oh yeah, we could find like a magnet of something
A
like
little bean.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a bean magnet, a frozen pizza, and you get the Baltimore special.
Okay.
We love it.
We got a deal.
Deal. There it is.
Great.
So, what else you got for me, WildChat?
I guess you asked us our boo booey. I'm completely.
Who's your
blanking.
Jameer Young?
Yes, Jameer Young. Who's your Jameer Young.
I'm gonna tie one more thing in here. Russ from Boiler Podcast, whatever they are. As you can tell, we're rivals. He said
love them.
Jameer is our only offense. Blah blah blah. Last year he had to be our only offense because it was Kevin Willard's first year. They had to make a Big Ten team. This year he has a Big Ten team. But I will say, our Jameer Young is Roman Hemby. I say our offense goes through maybe Tua, but if Roman Hemby is stacking up 100-yard games like he did at the beginning of the season, it opens up the passing game. Just like Jameer. Jameer might not have the shooting game going, but every time at the end of the game he gets to the free throw line, drop 8 to 10 points at the free throw line, and it opened up the scoring for the rest of the team. I think that's a pretty good comparison. I think I did pretty good on the wing in it just there. How about that?
I love that. What about defensively? Who's the guy to watch against Northwestern? Who's gonna make an impact?
I'm hoping he's healthy. I haven't seen anything. We had some banged up players. Still was banged up. He missed the Illinois game. But our boy right here, we're from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, a little small town called Delmar. Dante Trader. Every chance we get a chance, we drop Dante's name. Dante is our starting safety. Great kid. He plays lacrosse. He's a dual sport athlete for the University of Maryland. He was actually, I think, the number 3 recruit for lacrosse in the nation.
Impressive.
But Dante Trader is a game changer. He will play on Sundays in the future. And if he goes, the whole defense goes. He sets the tone. He's this close to getting his first pick. Every time he's got a pick in his career, a flag has diminished the pick. Every time. So I'm hoping Northwestern, he gets an interception this year. But anyway, that's our boo booey of the defense, or the Zach Edey of the defense. Overrated, by the way.
He's 7'4" and can't
He's
do
just
anything
tall.
else. He's
He's
just
just
yeah,
tall.
I agree with that.
Will not play in the league. That's why he's sticking around in college. Will not play in the league.
No chance.
I like that. Wow. I feel like we've talked equal basketball, equal football, and I think that's
That's the perfect
that's
way
the
to do it.
perfect way as we inch towards basketball season. I mean, what are we, like 12 days away? I think that's how far
12
until
days.
Hey, we have
Western's-
our exhibition game in 1 week.
Okay, but 12
Who
days.
do y'all play in your expedition? Do you know?
McKendry?
McKendry.
The old powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Oh.
say, don't think we're friends either, WildChat. You have a Dookie coaching you. So just remember that. We're not friends. We're acquaintances.
Listen, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. I hate Duke with all my heart as well. So, you know.
There it is. There it
Oh,
is. Hey, that does equal out, though. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, they helped us out tremendously. So thank you. And Miami to Baltimore.
Ravens looked a little scary last week. I mean, they said hi to the Lions and then swatted them out of Baltimore.
Speaking of futures, Ravens, future Super Bowl.
Okay, so someone's been listening to some Stephen A.
Hey, some say I'm biased. Some say in my FanDuel account I have a Maryland future national champion basketball that is, Ravens future, and I just put Orioles for 2024 future.
I don't
I
mind.
am a diehard. I'm biased. It's probably not best to follow me on gambling because I am ice cold.
So while you're at it, since you're just happy throwing away money, you mind sending me $20?
Absolutely. Shoot me your Venmo.
Awesome.
Okay, so why don't we talk some score predictions for this weekend? I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but I do not think Northwestern's going to be winning. Just because at this point I'd be surprised if we have 2 more wins left in the tank. I think it's possible. But I think Maryland coming off the bye week, obviously coming off the loss against Illinois, I think that they're going to be ready to really ground and pound their way past this Wildcats team. So I have Northwestern losing, let's say 24-10. I just feel like that's kind of where it's at. I think Maryland will kind of be able to leave Evanston with a nice little win.
I disagree. I just wrote my article about how Northwestern is the perfect representation of the Big Ten West. Big Ten West, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Northwestern coming off a loss. They're going to rebound with a win here. It's going to be another weird game, low scoring. I think we all talked about. Here's my hot take. There will be 2 touchdowns in this game scored off of punt returns. That's my hot take coming in. Yeah, I think each side is scoring a touchdown off of punt returns. And then I think there's going to be some fake trickery happening. I don't know. We're getting weird with it. I'm going Northwestern's winning 23-17.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so after watching a little, I didn't watch the whole Nebraska game. I watched a little bit of it. That was too much. Just made me really depressed. I think if Ben Bryant's not back, that also won't help. We don't have momentum. We have nothing.
In the Big Ten West, we do, though. Sort of. In this big win-loss mentality.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think if Ben Bryant were playing, maybe we would have had a chance of winning, but that's just me. I'm going Northwestern loss, so Maryland win 20-6.
Oh, I'm going Maryland 27, Northwestern. Let's go 15, 5 field goals.
That
I
sounds
see
about
it.
right.
I see it.
Yep.
Some milk in the kicker. Milking the exactly. There we go. That was the celebration against Nebraska. So, always trying to keep it fresh over there. I just you really got me on this whole basketball thing because
I don't even want to watch the
Electric.
game this weekend.
it's like
Electric.
it's like roll on basketball season.
Hey, here's what we do. Here's what we do over at Maryland. When football starts sucking, which is this time of year, we go to YouTube and we watch all the great Maryland games.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have many great Northwestern football games to go back and watch, really. Well, we've got our Purdue game last year, our Indiana game last year. So
Boise State.
We do not have the the at Maryland game. We don't watch that one.
that game was on my birthday at College Park, and just
What year did y'all graduate high school?
2020.
22.
Oh, 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what?
I am not thinking 22.
We're all sophomores.
All right, do yourself a favor. I don't know if y'all were watching Northwestern basketball then. I want to say 2015 or 2016, maybe even 2017, somewhere in that range. The Big Ten tournament was in D.C. and Maryland drew. I think they were second seed, double bye. Friday night, 9:00, D.C. in our backyard, Northwestern. And y'all killed us. So if you want a game to go watch, look at Maryland, Northwestern, Big Ten tournament in D.C. I won't be watching it, but you all can go watch that because you all spanked us and you ruined my whole weekend.
Yeah. Awesome. I'll check that out.
You're gonna check it out?
Yeah.
For sure.
You're gonna do that instead of doing your homework?
Yeah. Who cares about homework?
He missed the last podcast because he was studying for an exam.
I don't miss those days. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I'm just gonna be honest. I do not miss those days at all.
Ready for winter break.
There it is.
So this is completely off topic, but Dylan and I, before school started this year, we actually visited a friend in Maryland, and I just want to say it's a great state. I feel like it gets lost in the haze of like the mid-Atlantic Northeast. It's more Northeast, I'd say, but I just like to put out there that it's a very solid state.
Yes, I agree.
And I feel like that should be known.
Well, if you all get out here again, because I found out Chicago to BWI flights are like dirt cheap. So if you ever get out here, if Maryland's ever playing Northwestern in basketball, whatever, we have 6 season tickets. Get up with us, and we'll hook you all up.
Love it.
Love that.
I'm kind of down. The game's around
So
my
down.
birthday again this
It
year.
is?
So
Really?
Okay.
it's the 22nd.
Are you guys
Is
also?
it-
Are you guys also?
Say that again.
Oh, go ahead, Dylan first. Dylan, you go.
Oh, I was just saying the game's around my birthday again. So honestly, I'm down to head over to Maryland for that.
Is
game.
it home or is it at Maryland or at Northwestern? Do you know?
At Maryland, I believe.
All right. Well, the tickets are good. If you want to come through, hit us up. We'll send you that way. And then what was your question?
Are you guys also doing the basketball podcast for Big Banter too?
Absolutely. They basketball's our bread and butter. And they were like, hey, you can do both. I said, well, I'm not going to let someone else try to be the Maryland representative. So we took it all.
Great.
That's exactly what we did.
And be on the lookout for top 25 basketball, Big Banner. We're about to put ours out. Spoiler alert, Purdue is not in our top 25 because we're going off the last time we saw them, and that was them losing to number 16, Fairleigh Dickinson. So I'm just saying.
Wow.
I see why you guys get the reputation.
I
you do.
understand it. Okay, so if you're talking about your Big Ten basketball rankings, right? What's your top 5 looking like? I'm just curious.
Maryland 1, and I'm not being biased. I'm just saying Maryland 1, Michigan State 2, Purdue 3, Illinois 4, and Wisconsin 5. Or I'm sorry, I pronounced Wisconsin with a T. Wisconsin, however you say it. Wisconsin 4 or 5, whatever I meant. Wisconsin.
Okay, gotcha.
I think
I know what we're dealing with now.
I don't like Purdue, and I'll be honest with you, I never had a problem with Purdue, and I hope they're watching us to the Boiler Express podcast, and they know why. But no, it's all for the love of the game. I think we have a great time over here at Big Banner. For those who don't know Big Banner, check them out. They're on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the good stuff. But we're having a great time at Big Banner. Come join us.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Ashleigh,
Well, look, WildChat, I appreciate y'all having me on. I'm gonna run, and hopefully I don't have to send you a care package because my wallet can't handle that many more times.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was super, super fun. Time has flown. Yeah, hopefully for basketball, we'll probably be seeing you again soon.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for meeting with us. Have a great
Yep,
rest of your
nice to meet you guys.
Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Terps.
Yeah, have a good one.